What it is, man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Most exciting man in boxing. Exciting man in boxing. Led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV.
Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellas Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Man, here, man. 122 pounds and 10-5, man. Watch the Goodfellas Sports TV, bro.
All right, man, let's talk about Devin Haney versus George Kambosos, the thriller in Down Under. Heard people already talking about, tactical stuff. People saying all Devin needs to do is jab and he'll win the fight. You got people saying that, Devin needs more than a jab and this, that, and the third. I mean, obviously, it's always more complex than that. Why this is a hard pick is because it's in Australia. That's why it's a hard pick. So, I mean, I did some minimum field study this morning, man. And, it ain't about watching the last fight. It's about watching the fights in which you can emulate the styles that they are facing. Those are the fights you're looking at. But, of course, you got to look at the latest and the greatest fights to see the improvements and, subtle things that they're doing. But looking at this fight, man, Kambosos, he is 5'9 and a half, 68-inch arms. I don't believe that to be accurate. Devin Haney looked taller than him, but they never really acted. Like they had Ugas reach at 68. So you take this for a grain of salt. For real, look at who he beat, Teofimo Lopez. That was a close fight. I felt he won at 115, 112. He took the last 2 rounds. He had a split decision with Lee Selby, which I thought was a pure robbery. He fought Mickey Bate in split decision, even though the last two was pretty wide. He did drop Bate in the 10th. Other than that, I don't really know much of the opponents that he fought. But he fought, just that don't mean they're not good opponents. He fought MGM Grand versus Ray Perez, 24-10-0 in the 8-rounder, and that was on a Marcus Brown, Badu Jack, Pacquiao Broner undercard. Some of the things he's 28-2. Some of the things that he do well, he got a great lead hand. That's what make him good. He got a good lead hand. He can throw a jab. He throw a really long, really straight jab. And also he can hook off the jab. He's a good athlete. I don't think he ain't slick, but he move enough. But he's a good athlete. Good hand speed, solid feet. He's a good athlete. Good long whip, whip like jab. He can hook off the jab, really good lead hook. He one of those guys who he like to keep you at the end of his shots. Kind of like Errol Spence, Kovalev. It's kind of the type of puncher he is. He'll throw a good uppercut every now and again, but that's what he is. He like one of the punchers that like to keep you at the end of their shots. And Devin Haney the same way. Devin like to keep you at the end of his shots, but like I said, good athlete. Good lead hand. Jab, hook. Orthodox fighter, I believe he is. Yep. And then he lost. And I don't think he been down versus T.O., got a solid chin. Fought through adversity. I think Devin had some adversity, but I don't think he had the adversity that Kambosos had through the Devin Haney fight. Through the Teofimo Lopez fight. So, it's good athlete. I highlighted him a few years ago when he was a prospect. He looked pretty good. It's Manny Pacquiao sparring partner. Like I said, good hand speed, good athlete, good lead hand, good lead hook. Right hand is solid, it's solid, but I just think the lead hand is going to be the key to this fight for him. And, that's going to open up everything else if it's the little, jab and right hand to the body, and if it's set up knockout punches. But he only got a 50% knockout ratio, 20 fights, 10 knockouts, no loss, no draws. His last knockout came versus Richard Pena in Athens, Greece. He is Greek. He is Greek. That is his, ethnicity. So I mean, it's the last knockdown came. So I mean, he's not, he ain't no puncher, but he's solid. He's solid. Look at Haney. They say 5'8", 71-inch arms. I don't believe that to be true as far as the 5'8". He was taller than Kambosos. So they got him 5'9.5", 27 wins, 15 KOs. You got to remember he turned pro as a teenager. So he almost been pro 10 years almost. In a few more years to be 10. His first fight, he's fighting over in Mexico. See, 2015. So, then eventually when he became of age and he started fighting in the United States, he had to chill in circuit for a minute because he hadn't signed with a promoter. Somewhere in there he was fighting like Atlanta and the ballrooms and stuff like that. Yeah, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Buckhead. You know what I'm saying? 2300 Arena and versus Mason Menard. So then he signed with Eddie Hearn, and then he started fighting in the big arenas and stuff of that nature. So he actually has a higher knockout percent ratio, 55+%. His last knockout came versus Zaru Abdamadev. I think he just got a big win over who was it? Over Jorge Linares. He just stopped Linares in 12. So, that was his last knockout. He had a little knockout run, Antonio Moran, but he ain't a knockout puncher. And, I think that's kind of thing that kind of get him in trouble, which I'll talk about in a second. 23 years old, good athlete, good hand speed, good footwork, good reflexes. Um, and that's Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? Slick boxer puncher, love the jab, love the right hand, he love the he postures. He comes out, kind of remind you of Demetrius Andrade a little bit. He's orthodox though. But Demetrius Andrade like to do is come out and establish respect. That's what he like to do, come out and establish respect. So that's what he like to do. He like to come out and establish respect. He comes right to you. He like to set the tone, and Devin Haney like to come out and show that I can punch, and you gonna respect me. And he walk right to his opponents, and that's what Andrade do. That's exactly what Andrade do. Andrade come out, step to you, hit, try to establish, try to establish getting respect with his punching power. And sometimes he drop his opponents. He hurt them, almost drop them. It's kind of what Devin be trying to do. He try to come out and establish respect. He walked right to his opponents. He did it versus Linares. He did it versus Diaz. I don't remember watching the Gamboa fight. I don't remember. How can you remember? I didn't even remember he fought Gamboa. But last couple fights, he been coming out trying to establish respect. But you're talking about the pedigree of both fighters, it's different. Kambosos was a good athlete, hard-working guy that wasn't supposed to be here, and Devin Haney was destined to be here. Don't really matter, how you got there. So, can you get to the mountaintop and can you stay there? And man, the weaknesses, man, for Devin Haney is, like I said before, I think he's sitting in the pocket too much. With that height and that reach and that range, he should be staying on the end of his punches. Now he been trying to be something that he ain't, and that's the problem. He been trying to show us, and we asked him to show that he could punch, and that's not who he is. You know what I'm saying? He ain't a puncher. Like I said, I told y'all about the height. Look, he's a few inches taller than Kambosos. He's still a growing man. So, but that's the problem. I think it's an identity crisis, but nonetheless, I think he's sitting in the pocket too long, bro. I mean, get in there. He tried to operate from the pocket like older Floyd did. And you get in the pocket, he got to hold the phone with his right hand. He ain't holding the phone. And that's why he getting caught. He punched, after a while, you slow down as the rounds go on, but he's not changing the speed of his punches his last couple fights. He trying to load up, and his hand speed, he can get away with loading up Keith Thurman, etc. But he can get away with it. But if he just, for this fight, especially for this fight and going forward, if he just focus on touching and scoring and defense, he wouldn't have a hard time. But I don't really blame him because you got to go over there and annihilate this dude. You got to go out there and get a knockout, bro. That's how most people feel. You going into his country, but if it ain't about a knockout, and you feel like you got fair judges and you get a fair shake, Then it's just about touching him. You know, in his last couple of fights with Jozo Diaz and Linares, he want to show that he a puncher. He sat there too long. That's why he ended up getting caught. His speed is the same. Your punches is coming off the same cadence. Change the speed up a little bit. Everything can't be hard. Sometimes you touch him with the jab, you faint. Don't come back with the right hand and be so predictable. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you feint the jab and come over the top with the right hand. You know, just little things like that. And if you are gonna throw those same punches, change the speed up. You know, throw the jab hard, you know, then touch with the right hand and get out of there. But you know, he sits in the pocket too long. When he sits in the pocket, he get comfortable because he able to beat, you know, the opponent to the punch. But after a while, things slow down. The opponent, you slowing down. The opponents, they catch your rhythm. Then they punch with you. Then you get hurt. Hand in the cookie guard too long. Pick your spots when you're gonna be in the pocket and cause damage. That's what Andrade do. Andrade come right to you in the pocket, clock you with some shit, establish respect. Then he go on the outside and start sticking and moving. You know what I'm saying? Like he should pick his spots. You know, he's sitting in the pocket too long. Pick your spots. Once you start touching them, then you know change the range up. If either you're gonna go on the inside and bang them out, or you're gonna go on the outside. But sitting in the pocket all night long, bro, you can't do that. You know, if you're gonna do that, then you gotta change the speed of your punches. You gotta be defense. When the closer you get into an opponent, the tighter your defense gotta be. And with Devin Haney, when he in the pocket, his defense lacking. Look where he hold the backhand at in most of his fights. He holding it down. Keep the right hand up, right? If you gotta tape that motherfucker to your head in training, keep the right hand up. And if you not gonna keep that right hand up, get out of range. Either be close and clinch or get out of range. He can't sit in the pocket too long. You ain't got nothing to prove. You a puncher. It don't matter no more. Be on the outside, establish your respect in the pocket, and get the hell out of there and just start, make him come to you. Lee Selby, that's what he did to Kambosos. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that. But he's in the pocket too long, bro. His hand speed, his rhythm, his punching rhythm, it don't change. He throw everything at the same speed in the last couple fights. His defense hold the right hand, sit in the pocket too long. I know those are the major things. It's probably gonna get him in trouble in this fight if he's gonna change him. Now, you're talking about George Kambosos. He don't do well with movement and feints. You know, look at the Lee Selby fight, in and out. He don't cut the ring off well. That in and out movement, you know, it bothers him. He can't cut the ring off. He got to be set to throw. So it's no off platform fights, punches. But that's just pretty. That's kind of the thing about it. You know, speed to be an issue in here. I think he find his timing. But that's it. That's it. Can't cut the ring off platform. I mean, he's not the biggest puncher. Obviously, Devin isn't either. But that movement and feints give him in and out, left to right. They give him a lot of problems. So, and like I said before, that's pretty much the thing about it, bro. It's just the movement, in and outs. Kind of what bothered him is what Haney do good and why Haney wasn't the number one choice. So just in and out, feints, move, get in and out, score. You know what I'm saying? Just that. But a little stiff up the head, a little stiff, but he'll move it. He more move his torso. But other than that, that's pretty much his weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Cutting that ring off, dealing with movement. He was outboxed by Lee Selby. He robbed Lee Selby in his own country. But that's it. But talking about the game plan for George Kambosos in this fight, it's an interesting one. I think so I'll start with the jab. And I just think it come with timing. Once you get the jab rolling with him, punch with him. That should be the game plan. Punch with him, some body work in there, because he gonna move. And then what he did with Lee Selby, he started throwing the straight left. Then he throw the straight left to stop the pause Lee Selby to get him to stop. Then he dropped the right hand to the body. I think he's gonna need some of that. But he's not gonna magically cut the ring off. They said he brought Albert Bell in to spar. I don't really care. Albert Bell, not Devin Haney, and Devin Haney, not Albert Bell. But shout out to Toledo And that's the honest truth. You can't get better versus style in one training camp. This ain't Rocky. This ain't Rocky. You can't just get better out the blue, with slick fighters. You know what I'm saying? Canelo still showed y'all. It's been several years since he fought Floyd and Lara, and he still ain't better fighting mover. Somebody that's athletic. So one training camp not gonna change it. So, you just gotta do things. You just gotta, improve on what you can improve on when you do that, and you got the home court advantage. So when you get a mover, sometimes, being a little bit over aggressive might kind of be the remedy here. You're not fighting the biggest puncher in the world. So, you fight somebody that move a lot, maybe jumping in there, is a little bit calculated, and you might hit the shoulder. You got the fans. You hit the shoulder, he might fall to the ropes. People think you really landed some. So really it's kind of like being Mysterio from Spider-Man. It's a little, glitz and glamorous, little smoke and mirrors in there. So when you do that, they already not scoring the fight for the movers in boxing. They're already doing that. They're not doing that no more. They're scoring it for the aggressive. So use that to your advantage being at home too. So, catching them moving, hitting them in the shoulder, hitting them on the hip, hit them everywhere to get that reaction and act like you scoring and get this crowd to sway the judges. So that's should be part of this game plan. Fight somebody shiftier. Just hit them everywhere. Make sure you try to punch with them. But why you can't really wait to punch with them for so long? You lose a round. So you gotta do something to be in the fight. Round by round. And that's just hitting them everywhere, bro. Once you get your jab established, you don't have to try to land something clean with the right hand. Hit them on the elbow, hit them on the wrist, hit them on the hip, hit them everywhere. And, you get somebody like Devin Haney like to move, you'll knock them off balance and they start scoring the round for you. And then towards the end of the round, you at home, steal the round. You know what I'm saying? At the last 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 20 seconds, 25 seconds, steal the round. Use your home court, all those things, and use your home court to an advantage. But the main thing is, hit them everywhere you can hit them at. Hit them, catch them off balance on the shoulder, steal the rounds at the end of the round. But, in between that, get your jab working and punch with them. Trust your chin, and get his timing down. And part of getting his timing down is going to get that jab and hooking it over, but it's going to be that right hand. And not just hit him with a jab right hand. You got to be prepared to come back with a hook or something to the body, but it's the game plan for George Kambosos. It's that simple. For Devin Haney, like I said before, the game plan, I said it many times, is hit and don't get hit. That's the name of the game. Play it, play it. Hit and don't get hit. Make them look stupid. Do what Lee Shelby did, but step it up. You're a better fighter. Just, get your jab working. Touch them and get out of there. Don't worry about loading up. Don't worry about hurting them. You want to get the knockout, it's just going to be, a little bit of some body work in there. But hit, don't get hit. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit there too long with them unless you got them in danger. Frustrate them. Simple as that. Do what Sugar Ray Leonard did through the Duran. Use your athleticism. He can't punch off platform. He got an issue cutting off the ring. Stay on the outside. Stick and move all night. When he jump in there and get frustrated, have something for him. You know what I'm saying? He gonna jump in and bite on the fan or something like that. Have something for him. Don't just jab right hand. Have a lead right hand waiting for him. Have a check left hook waiting for him. But I just think he should stay on the outside, stick and move, hit and don't get hit. Get his jab on, change the speed of his punches a little bit. And just touch him. Don't worry about loading up on nothing unless you feel like you down. You got to early on. Just hit and don't get hit. Use your speed. Use your foot movement. Don't move too much. And then once you feel like you frustrating him, and he jumping in, doing something careless, catch him. And then once you start catching him, you feel like you hurt them, then you drown them. Then you walk towards them and you close the show. Simple as that. Some body work here and there. Get the jab moving up and down. Take away his lead hand. That's just one thing you do. Take away his lead hand. It's a wrap. That's it. That's what keep him. That's his best attribute. His lead hand. Take it away. If it's jet coming over the top, if it's dominating with your jab, if he throw a jab and you coming over the top with your jab, if he jab, you coming over the top with a right hand. That's it. Take away his lead hand. Hit and don't get hit. And then, you feel like he getting desperate. He jumping in, hit him with some shit. If that don't work, you get him out of there. Then you start pressing like you did with Linares down the stretch. And then you get him up out of there. So that's the game plan. Whoever going to control the lead hand, whoever established their style, and establish their style is Kambosos get Devin Haney going toe-to-toe with him. And Devin Haney going toe-to-toe with him, Kambosos probably gonna win the fight. If Haney, control the lead hand, control the jab, and stay on the outside, don't get hit, then make them frustrated and jump in there with something to catch them, and then close the show and press them. Then that's gonna how it happen. But I'm gonna have Devin Haney. Winning. I'm gonna say Devin Haney win 10th round stoppage. I'm gonna go with that. I just think it's gonna be hard to get a decision over there. But I just think Devin Haney, he might get hurt in this fight too. But I think Devin Haney gonna do what I said do. Stab, groove, and make Kambosos look like a damn fool, as Floyd Sr. would say. I gotta give him his credit. The great poet Floyd Sr. Floyd Mayweather Sr. So yeah, I think that, and I think he's gonna close the show. So Bill know what's going on. Yoel Judah know what's going on. Devin know what's going on. I'm going there and press him right away. Outclass him with your athleticism, your speed, your angles. Take away the jab, drown him late. I think that's what's gonna happen. So check out my Fire Reaction playlist. Financially, want to support the channel? Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate is thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Other than that, man. Financially, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit my link tree, it's the first link in the description. You can find me from Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all in one place. Other than that, appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. One time for the one time. Check out the fight prediction playlist, Check out the fight prediction playlist for more predictions and see the predictions I've done in the past and look at my accuracy rate, which I really ain't been giving it my all. Bro. Life happens and some of these matchups are stale, but this one kind of, I did some film work on this one and we kind of moving in the right direction. So getting back on my P's and Q's. But hey, appreciate the love and support. Haney and 10, KO style. So could be wrong, but let me know what you think in the comments section.